You are worthy. You are deserving. You are a humanitarian. You are kind. You're generous. And you're living in the exact right timeline for you to thrive. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this sacred conversation. I am Abiola, and I'm so glad that you are here. Today, we are going to be talking about ancestral self-care. Ancestral self-care. I have to just share with y'all, I've been having such a wonderful time in the past, the past few weeks or so, as we've been, you and I, talking about our ancestors and delving into our ancestral powers and the ancestral realm. And I am so excited that you've been joining me for these conversations, each and every one of you. I really do feel like our ancestors got together and agreed and said, let's bring these crazy kids together, you and I and everybody else who's here on the broadcast, everybody who'll watch this in the future or the past. And so here we are. So do me a favor, hit the share button, put some positivity on your timeline for my American peeps. I hope that you had a thoughtful Indigenous Peoples Day yesterday. And for my Canadian peeps, I know that Indigenous Peoples Day for you was, I believe, last week or the week before. And I know that only because I saw it on the timeline of the dear and wonderful Asha Frost. If you don't know her, she is an Oracle creatrix and an author and an incredible human being. So definitely check out Asha Frost and her work. All right, so this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, at this exact time that we are live on this Friday, we are beginning the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle certification with the orientation. So you want to make sure that you are there. All right. So to figure out how you can join this free, or as a 2-for-1 bundle, if you're on Instagram, you can type Bloom into the comments and you should get a message in your DMs. For my Instagram peeps, type Bloom into the comments. You get a message in your DMs. For my YouTube and Facebook peeps, you can, let me see. You can type Bloom into the comments still, but I may not see you and it's not automated. So I would recommend just anybody who doesn't get the link, just go to the link. Anybody who doesn't get the link by DM, go to the link, tinyurl.com/bloom with Abiola. Facebook and YouTube peeps, it's right there on the screen. tinyurl.com/bloom with Abiola. If you are wanting to be a part of the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle deep dive intensive, we can call it a certification because that's what it is. But for some of you, you don't want a certification. You just want to go on a deeper dive with this deck, with your ancestors, with this work, with the work of oracles. And so it is all that and a bag of chips. I know, I can't help myself. It was my era. What can I say? All right, so let me pull a card for us. As I said, we are, I know, getting back into work, getting back into the week after having a long weekend for some of us. All right, but hit the share button, please. Put some positivity on your timeline, and I'm going to pull a card for us. Find out what the ancestors are wanting us to know. And then we're going to get into the 7 things that you should be doing as a part of your ancestral self-care. The 7 things that you should be doing as a part of your ancestral self-care. Greetings, Goddess Allison. All right, so Goddess Allison, actually, why don't you please give me a number between 1 and 13? Goddess Allison is a Reiki master, and she's also quite skilled in oracles. She has a great video that she did about this deck, and actually really good videos she did about this deck as well. Oop, upside down. So check her out. So Goddess Allison, please give me a number between 1 and 13. Okay, 1. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let us see. I'm just closing my eyes just to find out if I should pull from the top of the deck, pull from the bottom of the deck, or split the deck. I'm thinking split. Okay. How does this card, no matter what we are doing, the griot, ballist, comes up in these sacred conversations all the time, all the time. Okay, let's pull a clarifier, Goddess Allison. Give me another number between 1 and 13, please, Goddess. Okay. Okay, she is saying 11. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so clarifier, poetic justice. Poetic justice. Okay, so I'm going to read for you. Oh, okay. I'm seeing things. She said 11 first, and I said 1, and then she said 8. So this is my reading. So that's why Bliss came up again. All right, so we're going to put them to the side, and let's do another reading based on what Goddess Allison actually said. Actually, no, I will put them back in the deck. My bad, Goddess. Okay. All right, so we're doing 11 first. All right, so here we go. So, all right, so we're going to do 11 first. Y'all will be happy to know one of my intentions over this next year, just for the fun of it, is to up my shuffling game, All right, so 11 first. Okay, so here we go. What do we need to know as a sacred circle in this beautiful week, this beautiful moon energy? Okay, so here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, here we go. Okay, creature of earth. Take charge energy, take charge. Creature of earth. That is our message for this week. Take charge, take charge, take charge. And the imagery that we're looking at is reflective of the Dogon peoples who have a sacred wolf. Talk about ancestral energy. A sacred wolf that they use for divination, who is an animal spirit for the community and regarded as just divine and sacred animal energy. And as you can see, she's holding a coin. And so this is an image of prosperity also. So creature of earth is saying, take charge. If you're wondering where your prosperity is, if you're wondering where your abundance is, right now, take charge, take charge, take charge, take charge. Yes, thank you, Goddess Helen. She says, your reading looked lovely, Goddess. It did look lovely. It did look lovely. So perhaps we'll delve into that a little bit later. Okay. And then Goddess Allison called for number 8 for the second number. And so Goddess Helen, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is between you and I. You'll know what I'm talking about. The work that you have, that you inherited to put out there, I only saw a glimpse of it, but I have to tell you, like, it has been on my mind about helping you bring that forward. I don't know what it is exactly or how, but it has been on my mind. So just so that you know that, I don't know if maybe it's just on my mind to remind you that you've got to do it, or on my mind that, come on, let's do it together, or whatever it is. Just here's a sacred nudge. All right. Okay. So moving forward. Okay. So here's the next number, 8. Let's see. All right. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning, in case you missed it, this Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the orientation for the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle Certification course. Some of you will take the course to be certified. Some of you will take it and not want to be certified, but just get to know more about divination, the deck, yourself, shadow work, the ancestors, all of that. So to find out how you can get it now free, head to the link tinyurl.com/bloomwithabiola. Here it is on the screen, tinyurl.com/bloom with Abiola. Okay. All right. So going back here. Hello, Sam's Sacred Soundscape. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And we have the Conjure Woman. Oh, I love her energy, the energy of manifesting. Her energy just makes me smile and makes me so happy. And as you can see, for my number people, she's got the number 1 there. My number people, this is the number 39. Yes, okay, so take charge. If you're wanting your abundance, if you're wanting to know where your manifestations are, if you're wanting to know what is next for you, take charge, which is an important message because sometimes the guidance is to just surrender, right? Just take your hands off the reins and just let go and let things flow. But this energy is telling us something a little bit different. This energy is saying for us to take charge, to step it up. Conjure Woman at 1111, Goddess Damali is saying yes. Ooh. So let me jump in and start to share the 7 ancestral self-care because y'all get me all emotional here. Because otherwise I'll get distracted and excited about everything else we're talking about and not move forward. All right, so 7 things that you can do for ancestral self-care. And I also want to just share some of the indigenous goddesses in the deck since we just had Indigenous Peoples Day. All right, so thank you to everyone who all of the ancestors who paved the way for all of us. Thank you for whatever land you are living on and standing upon, the original people who were there and worked that land. Thank you to the Lenape people whose land I was born on and continue to live on. Thank you to my Taino ancestors in South America. Much love to them. Thank you to the Cherokee and other peoples in South Carolina where I was speaking last week. My apologies for not acknowledging you while I was there, but thank you to you. Thank you to the Geechee Gullah people, or some people say Gullah Geechee, some people say Geechee Gullah, who worked that land under circumstances that we can't even imagine. Thank you to you. We say your name. So that is number 1. The number 1 thing that you can do for ancestral self-care is to speak their names. Speak their names. Say their names out loud. Whisper their names in the wind and watch the energy just flow back to you. Say their names. It is incredibly potent, incredibly powerful, healing for them and healing for you, just to say their names. And for ancestors who we know, this can be tricky because sometimes when we lose a loved one, I know that people are, have different levels and different ways that they deal with grief. And I know some people who don't want to speak someone's name because of the grief that is associated, but say their names. It is healing. Speak their names. Speak their names. Speak their names. Right now, take this moment and type someone's name, type an ancestor's name that you know of into the comments. And if you don't have an ancestor that you know of, just type thank you, or that you want to acknowledge, just type thank you. Let's just say their names right now. Call on your ancestors out loud. Honor their sacrifices. Honor their presence within you. Number 2 thing that you can do is cook an ancestral meal. So you may have roots from somewhere that you don't know your ancestors at all. Someone was telling me the other day they had Turkish roots. They don't know any Turkish people currently in their lives besides their ancestors, or know anything about, Turkish heritage. But get a Turkish recipe, get a YouTube video, and cook some ancestral food. Go to a Turkish restaurant, but it's much more potent if you can figure out how to do it yourself. Prepare the traditional food. Speak to your ancestors while you're doing it. Even if you don't know their names, just saying thank you and connecting with them through that meal. Food is life. Food is life for all of us. Yes, say their names. Thank you, y'all. Yeah, so cooking an ancestral meal is incredibly powerful. Number 3 is writing letters, what I call writing letters across the time. Oh, look at this. Yes, say their names. Say their names. Oh, this is so beautiful. Say their names. Yes. Yes, see their names on the screen. If you're listening, watch. Say their names. Yes, 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 yes. My mom is saying, Ma, Sissy, Auntie Irene. We say their names. Yes. Oh, my goodness. I don't even see your ancestors who I don't even know. Just seeing their names and feeling their energy is powerful for me. So I imagine for each and every one of us, say their names. Yes. So writing a letter to them is the next thing that you can do. So you've said their names, right? So even if you, again, if the only thing you can think of to say is thank you, that is enough. That is enough. Write a letter to them and tell them what you wish that they would have known. So if I look at, my mom, and my sister, Goddess Damali, who are acknowledging my great grandmother, yes, who I met when I was about 4 years old. She lived to be, I think, 100 or almost 100 or something like that. And, so they are saying her name. So if we wanted to write a letter to her, it could look like, I would just say, Dear Ma, your baby girl, Norma, is my mommy, and I want to tell you she turned out great. She's a wonderful mom. You did a great job co-raising her, and the lessons that you taught her, I am now teaching to my baby girl. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Say their names, cook their meals, write them a letter. Write them a letter, okay? So that is number 3, write letters across time. Okay, so number 4 is taking a ritualistic bath. So just a bath for cleansing using things like basil, for example. Thinking about basil because I have basil growing in my garden. Basil is wonderful for protection, for ancestral protection, and also prosperity. So, and it's not going to harm your body, right? So putting something as simple as putting basil in a bath and getting in a bath, that's ancestral properties, right? Our ancestors were not going and buying, bubble bath from Sephora or wherever. They were picking herbs from their garden, and every herb has an elemental meaning to it. And if you are looking for ancestral baths, this book, African Goddess Initiation, has some, and meanings of herbs and how to proceed with that. Okay. But since I mentioned basil, like, let's just let it be basil. Just if you can get some fresh basil, don't use the dried one necessarily, just only because I don't know what additives may be in it, if any. If you can get some fresh basil, put some basil, get in the bath, feel the energy of being protected. You are safe. Type into the comments, I am safe. And it is safe to be safe. Your ancestors have protected you. Their prayers are still protecting you. Ma's prayers are still protecting my mom, my sister, my brother, the rest of our huge family, me, my baby girl, right? Their prayers are still protecting, and just like our prayers will protect all who come after. All right. So if you can do a bath that is, this bath is about a different kind of cleansing. It's about not physical cleansing, but spiritual, emotional, mental cleansing. All right. Renewing your spirit. All right. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, number 5. Number 5, using oracle cards, just like we have been doing. Oracle cards are an incredibly powerful practice. Divination is a part of every single country on the 54 plus continents of Africa and throughout Europe, because it is a personal development and self-love, self-worth tool. So let me see if I can find some of our Indigenous American goddesses that are in this deck. So doing oracle readings You can use a deck that is specifically for the ancestors, Secrets of the Ancestors. Certification starts this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is on your screen. tinyurl.com/bloom with Abiola. All right. You can use a deck like this deck, or the deck of your choice, right? If there's a different deck that you more vibe with, the deck of your choice. All right. And the beautiful thing about Secrets of the Ancestors is that it is meant to tap into ancestral archetypes. So if you were to pull, say, the matriarch here, who represents nurture the harvest, even though your ancestors may not look like her or may be from somewhere totally different than where her roots are from, you're tapping into the archetypal energy. The energy. Type the word energy into the comments. Energy. Let me see. Maybe I already took out the indigenous goddesses. Maybe I thought this was a different deck, because I'm going to be posting them later. But the African goddess rising oracle has Tituba, and it also has Long Bubby Susie. And this one has, I believe, the chiefess. Let me see. Well, let me just show y'all on my Instagram, because I already posted one on my Instagram. I'll show you here, if you can see. All right. So here is the Huntress, the Huntress, who represents soul awakening. I don't know if you can see her, but she is card number 20 in Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle. And she represents Buffalo Calf Road Woman. Buffalo Calf Road Woman. Type that in the comments if you can. I know it's long, but we're going to say her name. Buffalo Calf Road Woman. She was a Northern Cheyenne warrior woman. She bears the wings of the Honorable Great Horned Owl. She is the Huntress. Buffalo Calf Road Woman. And she represents soul awakening. Buffalo Calf Road Woman. Buffalo Calf Road Woman. So the next thing that you could do, number 6, for ancestral self-care, ancestral healing, ancestral connection, is using meditation, trance, it was called ancestrally, using the moments in between with the busyness of everything happening, just to sit. Allow yourself to be still and know. Be still and know, to get quiet, to go within. This is healing for you. It's healing for your ancestors. It allows you to connect with their presence, their wisdom, their guidance, right? So if we say that prayer is us speaking to the divine, meditation is a means of us being able to listen. And number 7, last but most certainly not least, is creating an ancestral altar. So building a space within your space to honor their memory, to feel their protection daily. I was just watching the movie Coco last night with my daughter again, and we love that movie. And they were talking about the ofrenda room, which is basically an ancestral altar. And if you're not putting their pictures on the ofrenda, on the altar, then in the afterlife, they're having a more challenging time. So whether or not that's a part of your belief system, honoring them with room in your life, physical room in your heart. I just did a recent ancestral workshop that I taught with the College of Psychic Studies, and there was a wonderful gentleman there who, unbeknownst to him, he was doing this. He has a job with the UN where he travels, and everywhere he goes, he sets up in the room, as soon as he gets there, his pictures of his loved ones who have transitioned. He puts them on a shelf with a candle. That is an ancestral altar, and so he was already doing this. So if today, if you can think of nothing else to do, just make sure that their pictures are out and about where you can look at them. If they're not framed, just take the pictures, whatever you have, and just put them there so that you can just see them, and they're there and they're looking at you and they're having a presence within your life. Okay. So these are the 7 points. I come up with 22 ancestral self-care points. So I'm going to do something else with them for you all. But in the meanwhile, these are the 7 keys that you can begin with for ancestral self-care. Let me just look in here and see if Buffalo Calf Road Woman, let me just check one more time, because they do hide sometimes, and just see if she is in here. I'm thinking I did not put her back in here. Okay, no, she is not in here, which is okay. We see you, we honor you, Buffalo Calf Road Woman. Yes, here we go. Yes. Okay, Buffalo Calf Road Woman. Yes, beautiful. Someone says these ancestral oracles give a deep understanding of your ancestors. Yes, so consider coming to join us in the Secrets of the Ancestors certification, which is beginning this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is on the screen. Oh, yay, you did the ancestral spread using oh, that's beautiful. Using the ancestor oracles. I love that. I love that. That is such an important thing that we all could be doing. Again, a part of our sacred ancestral self-care. So thank you for this conversation. I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to want to know from you which of these things that you learned today, or that reminded you of what you already knew today, which ones you put into practice in your life. Okay. I'm going to ask you tomorrow. So see you back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Deep bow to you all. Sawubona. That means we see you. And I hope to see you. Get in right now. tinyurl.com/bloomwithabiola before the rate goes up to the full rate. Right now, you'd be getting it at 90% off or free with Inner Bloom, basically. Get in before it goes up to the full rate. And if you missed the sale, it's still fully worth it at the full rate. I promise. All right. Bye, y'all. Yay. Say their names. Say their names.